Hey guys, I'm Zachary Gray, and today we're going to be snorkeling and seeing what we can find.
Right now we're in Destin, Florida, one of my favorite places to come and snorkel because of the crystal clear water and the animals. The docks in this area work sort of like man-made reefs for the fish, so it's a great place to find all kinds of different things. After snorkeling around for a while, I decided it was time to grab my net and see if there was anything that I could catch. And it didn't take me long. Check that out. It's an oyster fish. Almost. Yes! Got him!
Got him!
I got one! Check this out! Look at that! It's a little oyster fish! Oh my goodness! That is crazy. Now these little oyster fish, these guys are ambush predators, and they like to sit right along these little banks and hunt for all kinds of little stuff. They mostly hunt at night, but here they will actually hunt during the day. And just like their name, oyster fish, they like to sit on oyster beds. That's one of their favorite places to sit and hunt. It's really cool. Now I'm having to keep him in the net right now, and I'm just kind of having a gentle hold on him, just lifting him up, but I'm keeping him in the water. As a fish, he does live in the water, and they do breathe the water, but I still have to be able to show him to you guys, so I'm just kind of keeping him gently in the net to keep him from getting away. Now on their face here, they've actually got all these little whiskers, like these little whisker things right on the front, and that's for sensing, but it's also for camouflage. It actually looks like algae on their face, and that's something they'll use as a camouflage. Now, if you look at their gills there, their gills actually have, right on the ends where the flaps are, they actually have spines. They actually have venomous spines right there for sticking things, and that's more of a self-defense for things that would try to eat them. But if you ever were to grab one of these fish, then they will actually spike you. So you don't want to grab by the gills, and I'm just kind of lifting him up from the net to keep him from spiking me. But these guys actually are venomous, and they can spike you. Now, their mouth and their head is huge compared to the rest of their body. Their body is actually pretty small if you look at it like that, but they have a big head and it's full of teeth. They actually have really sharp teeth, and they have big jaws. Huge jaws, and they can actually hurt you if they bite you. Now these little guys are omnivores. That means they'll pretty much eat anything that they can get. They'll eat all kinds of little algae. They'll actually eat plants, believe it or not, even with that big head. And they'll also eat all kinds of little fish. They'll eat crustaceans, mollusks, you name it. These guys will eat pretty much anything. Now they're mostly bottom dwellers. They spend most of their time on the bottom, and their fins actually kind of walk them along the bottom. They're pretty weird fish like that, and they'll actually kind of walk along the bottom. Check that out. That is such a crazy fish. He's got all these little bands on him, all this cool tan banding, all this brown banding on him. Really cool fish. Kind of reminds me a lot of ways of a stonefish, just the kind of the coloring and the fact that they've got those venomous spines. And they're pretty slow. They're not a very fast fish. A lot of the other fish around here, like all the snapper, the mullet, and the ladyfish, they're pretty fast. But these guys mostly rely on their camouflage as a defense, so they'll sit right along here, and they're pretty easy to catch. Now these little guys, they actually don't even have scales. They're a kind of scaleless fish, and you can see that their skin is actually very smooth. They have no scales on it, and they're actually very slimy, and their slime is actually kind of toxic. So that means a lot of things can't eat these guys. Only a very few things can eat these oyster fish, because not only do they have those spines, but their slime is kind of toxic to some things. So these guys are actually built to not be eaten. Now these guys are pretty common throughout the Gulf of Mexico and along the Atlantic. There's a couple of different kinds of oyster fish like this, and they're oftentimes called oyster toadfish. They're really a kind of toadfish, which is something pretty cool. And they're called toadfish because one, their head kind of looks like a toad, and two, they actually make a noise that sounds just like a toad, kind of like a croaking sound underwater. It's really cool. Wow, that is one crazy fish. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you did enjoy, definitely leave a like, and I will see you guys next time. Alright, I'm going to throw my snorkel on, and we're going to release this guy. I got it! It's a puffer fish!